Yeah. Hello, good afternoon, Turkey. My name is Jerubi Petit-Frere. I'm the director for the Office of International Programs at Felician and also the chair of Study New Jersey. And I'm very excited to be here with you this evening. I want to introduce also my colleague, Janice Thomas. If you want to introduce yourself, Janice.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting Study New Jersey to present in this webinar. We look forward to your questions and look forward to sharing information about the great state of New Jersey and the educational opportunities that are here. I am at Brookdale Community College and I am the director of the International Education Center.
Thank you, Janice. It's a pleasure to do this webinar with you. And we will begin. I will begin by sharing a little bit about our organization. Thank you. And many wonder, you may or may not have heard this term. What does it mean? What is Study New Jersey? Next slide. So to tell you a bit about our organization, it was founded over 10 years ago. It's a nonprofit organization, and we really focus on creating opportunities and promoting New Jersey as a state where international students are welcome. International students have opportunities to study, and international students can call it at home. And I'm going to cheat a little bit, but I was an international student from a long time ago, and I've called New Jersey my home for over 25 years here. I'm originally from Panama, so I can tell you that it is a wonderful state to live in, the wonderful state to study, and I found my life there through work as well. We were founded under commercial services, so it's part of an effort for the U.S. Government to welcome international students. So we are well organized and really want to make sure that you know where the state is, what we can do for you, and that we welcome you. Okay. So it's New Jersey. New Jersey is known to be in one of the best locations in the world, I think. It really is one of the most diverse states when it comes to geography.
Sorry for interrupting, but there's a noise in the background. Could you please refresh the page and join the page again? We cannot hear you clearly.
I do hear the noise. I thought, okay, let's refresh.
Is the noise on my end?
Yes, it might be actually.
Okay, so how can I?
Now it's good.
Now it's good? Okay.
It's not from your computer, so now it's good.
Okay.
Maybe while you'll be speaking, you can mute your microphone, so it might be the solution.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
I will do that. Let's see.
Okay. It's the era of technology, so
Yeah.
patience.
Mute. I will mute my mic.
You disabled your screen sharing, so we cannot see the presentation now.
Go ahead, Janice, and reshare. There we go. Perfect.
Thank you.
Here we are. Thank you, Janice. Okay, so this is where we were. Like I was saying, I think New Jersey is in one of the best locations geographically because it's really right mid-east, is on the east side of the U.S. It offers you a lot of shoreline, more than 2,800 miles of highways and also shoreline. So there's beautiful beaches. It also is known for the proximity to New York City, as well as Washington, Philadelphia, Boston, some of the major cities in the US. And it really is a pivotal state because it's in between the northern part of the US and also the most southern part, literally almost right in between, in the middle between in the US. So if you're not familiar with our location, I invite you to just take a look at a map. It's home to the biggest airports near Philadelphia and also Newark, New Jersey, which is where a lot of international flights come in the Northeast. Next, okay. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what makes New Jersey such a strong state as well. We are number 2 in the country in education. And this means that we really offer a lot of economic opportunities to students that come and study in New Jersey. And that is from US News and World Report. We offer a variety of different types of institutions, ranging from high schools, to private high schools, to colleges, to 2-year colleges, and engineering colleges, medical colleges, dental colleges, and theological colleges. That means that you really don't have to look anywhere else in the US to find opportunities in the field of study. It has more than 21 Fortune 500 companies and multinational companies. Because of its, like I mentioned, its proximity and where it is within the United States, it really offers a good home for many foreign companies as well. More than 270 have their headquarters in New Jersey. It's also as you all know, there's 50 states in the US, and we're number 6 as one of the most globalized, and number 2nd in the country that welcomes foreign direct investment, where foreigners come and invest, whether in their businesses and economically. It's also one of the main ports, the number 1 busiest port in all of port, where boats come in and a lot of commerce comes in, goods and services come through our ports. So it is one of the busiest and number 1 for distribution, market, and logistics. So big companies like Amazon and Wayfair, they have big warehouses in New Jersey to move their product across the US. Can go ahead. Well, one of the other things that New Jersey offers, I talked a bit about the business side and the economic opportunities, but it's also one of the best places for biomedical sciences and healthcare companies. It has top hospitals, some of the top hospitals in the country are in New York, some of the top research, the number 2 in cancer medicine development. It employs the most biochemists and biophysics in the whole United States. And all those people get a lot of their training and schooling within New Jersey. It houses 12 out of the top pharmaceutical companies in the world, and it's one of the number 1s for drug and pharmaceutical employment. I actually have a few family members that work in that industry. And it's a booming industry, not only because of what we're going through in the healthcare in the world, but because we're aging. And so companies and hospitals have a lot to do to catch up to the aging population, especially in the US. So there's a lot of services, hospitals, clinics that employs New Jerseyans throughout the state. So let's talk a little bit about the institutions that are in New Jersey. And like I mentioned earlier, it really is a state where you can have different types of institutions. And we can talk a little bit more about these institutions, but students come from early as kindergarten to study in New Jersey up through high school, what we call secondary school, to get their education. They have opportunities to go on to community college, which are colleges, which are great pathways to universities. There are public colleges and universities where you can gain, again, up to a PhD, a doctorate program, or go on to law school or medical school, as well as private colleges and universities. So it really offers something for everybody. It really offers an opportunity of different ways that students can come. I personally came here during my high school years to learn English, and then went on to a private college for my studies and moved on to another private university for my master's degree. So again, it gives students the opportunity to get a really good, solid education, and also the opportunity to gain employment right after graduation because of the vast array of industries. And I don't know if anybody knew this, but New Jersey was also, before Hollywood was Hollywood, New Jersey was known to be Hollywood, and I learned that through some of the videos as I was researching. It was the home of Hollywood. So when it comes to entertainment and the arts, we have some of the best museums as well, and then opportunities for you to develop in the arts. Again, our proximity to some of the major cities like New York City and Philadelphia also enable you to gain some of these skills. So you can go on to the next one. I want to show you some of the members, or the members that are part of this wonderful organization. And this is just a little chart with some information about the members and what we do at Study New Jersey. Like I mentioned, our focus as institutions is to offer you opportunities to study. And it's a little bit hard to see from the screen here, but we have Brookdale from college that represents New Jersey, welcoming its students. And you can see if institutions are on this list is because they really are focusing and creating programs for you to come and study in the state. Most of them will offer you some kind of scholarship opportunity that you can apply for, or you're automatically screened for scholarships. They offer various programs ranging from engineering to some of the best liberal arts, social sciences, humanities. They offer low-cost opportunities, especially through the community college pathways, where you can start and gain your basic education your first 2 years of your university, of your college years. And then you don't lose any credits and move on to a university after that. We have schools like Montclair State, which is the third largest state university. And if you move on to the next slide, you see our members are also ranging from Rutgers to Stevens, NJIT. These are large research institutions that, again, give opportunities for international students to come and study in the state of New Jersey. For those of you who may want to explore even a summer program or a short-term program, a lot of these universities will offer you opportunities to come short-term as well. So I know we're in a pandemic and this might not be your immediate plans, but as you plan for your future and we resume to some normal living, I invite you to explore these institutions through our website. Even through high school, I know a lot of the high schools do run summer programs where you can come and learn and practice your English in a safe and small setting. So that's another opportunity to look into through our private high school members. So I'm going to also just finish telling you a little bit about Study New Jersey by inviting you to our upcoming college fair and webinar series. This is a free event that will be held next Tuesday and Wednesday. And you can join any of the webinars on Tuesday. They range from 8:30 in the morning, around this time, your time in Turkey, to more evening time if you want to learn more about the pathway programs in New Jersey and how your credits transfer from community colleges into universities without missing a step. That will be on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, universities and colleges will be offering the opportunity for you to speak with them and also gain or get the option to apply for instant decision. So I invite you, what that means is that you would gather your documents prior to the event, the admissions documents, such as your transcripts and your application materials, submit them ahead of time, and the university will be able to review those and offer you an instant decision on the spot on the day of your meeting on Wednesday. So it's a great opportunity for those students who are eager, who are ready to start their journey to New Jersey and to start those conversations with expert international student advisors who can guide you through the process and give you some information on how to enroll at the different universities. So please check out our website, which is studynewjersey.us. On the events link, you will see it in the top right-hand corner for events, and register for the free event so you can talk to admissions counselors throughout the state and gain information about coming to study with us. Now I want to open it for any questions that students may have before we fellowship offers, I see. Yes, most, I would say, maybe not most, but a lot of the universities, and you want to focus on these in New Jersey, will offer what we call graduate assistantships or fellowships, giving you the opportunity to study, get an education, sometimes free or no cost. And also it pays a low wage, but it does mean that you get a free education. So if you focus on the institutions in the state that are universities and look through their options, you will see that they offer a lot of graduate assistantships and the process to apply to them. So again, I would also invite you to come to the college fair to have those conversations next Wednesday. And you'll be able to chat right there with the institutions and ask them the specific question.
So Jarubi, I guess we'll start just going one by one down the questions and answers. So
Sure.
We have a question: what do we need to pay attention to in order to get accepted into universities? And I think I'll have you start since you represent a university.
Sure. In the U.S. and also in New Jersey, of course, we really are going to look at you holistically. And what that means is, yes, your grades from your high school, your secondary school are important. So that's important. Sometimes your test scores can be, I would say this year is an exception because of COVID. Many of the universities are test optional, or they don't require the SAT anymore. Also having a strong essay or letters of recommendation. Again, we not only want to know your grades, we want to know what the grades do not tell me about you. So telling us more through your essay, through your life experiences, the extracurriculars or volunteer opportunities that you may or may not have, any athletics or sports that you've been interested in, and what you're passionate about should come through in your application. And you see this as a sort of like a theme for many universities. It's a little bit different from the college side, and I'll let Janice talk a little bit more about that. But yes, your grades are important. Usually your test scores, so we're going to skip that through this year, your letters of recommendation, and an essay and activities that you're passionate about.
And I'll just speak to the schools that are more open access institutions like community colleges. So we are basically going to be looking to see that you have completed high school, and some of our community colleges are test optional. So because we provide English as a second language, we can test you to determine if you can start with us through our ESL programs. So again, you know, we're looking for motivation and a complete application. And the other thing that I will say during these times is that many institutions, both community colleges and universities, have relaxed their application deadlines, and we're trying to be as flexible as possible with students, because we know it may be difficult to get academic records, financial records, evidence of financial support. So we are really working hard as an academic community to be very supportive of international students who want to come and study here in the US. So I think I should start from the bottom of our Q&A. We have quite a number coming in. One student writes, how do you get applications for your partner colleges, or do students need to apply to the college or university directly? And I would say that in most cases, you do apply to your college or university directly. Some schools accept the common application, so you might be able to do one application if that institution is using a common application, and then select which school you'd like to receive your application. Brookdale doesn't use the common app, so I don't know if Jarubi, you guys use common app.
We do. We use the common app, or you can apply directly on our website as well.
If I don't have any research experience, what should I do to become able to be competitive for biomedical engineering or PhD program, and what else do I need?
Great question.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not a research institution, but just from my experience, I'm a little confused with the question. Is she looking for a PhD program, or I didn't see that question on the chat?
Yeah, it's at the bottom. I think so. She's looking.
Okay.
The student is looking to be competitive in a biomedical engineering PhD program.
I think the most important is to get in touch with the university directly. Sometimes it's just really about aligning yourself with someone's research. So that means that you may not have the actual experience, but if you have interest on a particular subject in the research, and you find the professor or faculty member that leads that research, and making a case of how you can be of help as part of the research, could be sufficient. It can be competitive, though, for sure. If you published any papers, or have worked in the field, that could be helpful as well. If you have any working experience in the biomedical sciences, I'd suggest that as well. So, but again, Janice, you have a doctorate, so you may have more insight. But
no, actually, that's absolutely right. And in fact, when students ask me about, graduate programs, that's what I tell them. Well, what are you interested in? What field are you interested in? And try to find professors who are writing papers, doing research on that. Find out what universities they are affiliated with, and reach out to those professors directly. I think that's a good way. So, can Turkish students be accepted into medical programs directly? I think I would like to refer that question to one of our universities that have a medical school, because I'm not as familiar with medical school admissions and what is required for that. So if you, Jarubi, what is our email for Study New Jersey? You can email Study New Jersey, and we'll get one of our medical schools to respond directly to you.
I'll put that as well on the chat.
Okay, great, thanks. And then living costs in New Jersey. Wow. It's going to vary depending on what part of the state you live in. In the northern part of the northern east part of the state that is very close to New York, might be a little bit more expensive to rent an apartment or to live in that part of the state. In the very, very southern part of our state, you might find it a little less expensive. So I can just give you an example from my institution. We estimate that students need to budget for a 9-month period around $15,000 to cover living expenses and transportation, your food and your housing, those kinds of things. But it may vary from which part of the state that you're living in. I'm right in the central part of the state.
I can tell you though, it's not New York.
It is not New York.
And that's why so many students choose us, because we're close to New York. You have all the access that New York City and fun that New York City might offer, but you're not going to pay New York City prices because of, again, everything that New Jersey offers of its diversity. So you can be as close as you like. Of course, like anything, the closer you are to New York City, maybe the higher the prices are. If you don't mind going a little bit further, we have excellent transportation and trains and buses. Again, like my university is about 16 kilometers from New York City. So it's a 20-minute train ride into the city, and it's in an affordable, more quiet area. So I can tell you it's not New York City prices.
Right. Okay, I think this is a good question to respond to. How is the coronavirus pandemic situation in New Jersey? I think if you pay attention to what's happening around the world, you know that worldwide cases are rising. I think New Jersey has done a pretty good job of putting measures in place to help us contain the virus. And every college and university in New Jersey, when you go on their website, you can find out how that college is responding and supporting students during this time. Most of our institutions are offering virtual learning, with many of our institutions offering a hybrid, perhaps some in-person classes. For example, on my campus, our laboratory classes are in person. On other campuses, there might be other courses that are able to be in person as well for all or part of the semester. But all of us have had to spend a lot of time and investment in preparing our teachers to be able to teach in a remote environment. We have developed our student services and how we support and care for students. We have learned how to do that in a remote environment. So we will, each institution will have maybe a slightly different procedure or a slightly different policy, but we're all able to support students who are international students who are studying on our campuses.
Yeah, I'm not going to add much more than what Janice has said. All I can tell you is, especially our governor has done a really good job. And throughout the summer, we were one of the top states with the lowest amount of cases. We were what we call model state when it came to keeping people safe, our residents safe. And we just are continuing to be kind of that aggressive as the cases increases because of the weather and, just what the virus is. So I'm confident that we'll continue to do our best, and just we follow the rules. We follow the rules, try to follow the rules.
So someone asked if we had representatives in Turkey. So we are representing Study New Jersey, which is an organization. So Study New Jersey does not have representatives in Turkey, although we are wonderful partners with IEFT, who's putting on this great program for you. But some of our institutions who may have agents and may have representatives in Turkey. So that would be a great question for you to email Study New Jersey to find out which of our institutions have representatives there in Turkey. And then someone asked which college is the most popular for international students and has Turkish students. We have in our consortium in Study New Jersey, we have universities that have many thousands of students and thousands of international students. And we have institutions like mine who have maybe 130 students. So there are probably Turkish students represented in all of our campuses in Study New Jersey. So we can't play favorites and say which is the most popular though. But I think Turkish students will find, will be welcome in New Jersey, and you will find other students from your country or from your city here studying in New Jersey.
Yeah, definitely. New Jersey is one of the most diverse states, but so I promise you, you will not be the only Turkish student in New Jersey. You will find a community within the state. There's, I would say, small communities in different types of different parts of New Jersey. It's not very hard to find a Turkish restaurant, a Middle Eastern restaurant. So you will find, depending really on the environment that you're looking for a large state kind of, thousands of students environment, or you're more comfortable in the smaller settings where you could still have diversity, but maybe not in the large numbers that you might be faced in some of the public schools. So definitely come to New Jersey. There's a home here. Yes.
Yeah. So which college or university is suitable for students who would like to work part-time while studying? I think in F1 status, you are automatically eligible to work on campus. So on all of our campuses, international students can work with their international advisor, their career and leadership office on their campus to help you to find a campus job. They may be a little bit difficult and maybe not as plentiful as you would like, but on my campus we have a number of international students who work on campus, and I'm sure that's the same with Felician and all of the colleges and universities in our consortium. International students are eligible to work on campus.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Salim. She's been to New Jersey many times. Thanks. So how is the career opportunities in the USA for international students after graduation? I think there are many factors. It's going to depend on the economy. It might depend on your field of study. If you are studying philosophy, perhaps it might be a little bit more difficult. If you're studying, I don't know, if you're in, let's say, biomedicine or engineering, maybe it's a little easier. So it depends on a number of factors, but you will have support at your New Jersey institution to help prepare you for a job interview, American style, if you'd like, to help you to prepare your resume so that it is appropriate for an American context. And your international advisor will help you and advise you on applying for optional practical training, which allows you to obtain a work permit. So in terms of preparing you for searching for a job and helping you to find that job, you will find those supports at our New Jersey institutions. And how quickly you get a job, and it's dependent on many factors: the economy, the location, and what you study, and also what you bring. Were you a good student? Were you active on your campus? Do you have a strong resume, and how you present yourself to prospective employers? But I would say, hopefully, our economy will begin to rebound in terms of careers and opportunities.
Okay, I have to scoot out, Janice, but I will let you wrap up the session. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks. Bye, Jarubi. Thanks for organizing this.
Yes.
So, so someone asked which colleges support international students for internships, and sort of related to my last answer, all of our schools will have a career office, or a career and leadership development office, a career services office. And these departments work very hard to provide opportunities for all students to gain practical experience while they are students. And as an F1 student, you have that benefit as well through something called curricular practical training, where you will be able to work with your international student advisor and the career office, or maybe even in the academic department that you're studying in, to help you to find an internship that is related to your major. And as long as you are getting academic credit and receiving, some academic recognition, you can get a work permit called curricular practical training that will help you to gain that valuable practical experience even before you graduate. Yeah, so I think we answered this question before in the chat, Salamat. There is an email address to Study New Jersey. You can email us and we will let you know which of our members specifically work with Turkish agencies. Okay, and I think we put our contact information in the chat. Just send us an email to Study New Jersey. Wow, 3 interesting facts about New Jersey. I think in our slide presentation, we covered some of that, but maybe Berka, we have a short video about New Jersey. If you could maybe play that, just to. Well, yeah. If our assistants, if we have a video on YouTube that is queued up, and so we'll play that, because I think that will also give you a little bit more interesting information about New Jersey. And I think this is a graduate school question. Can a strong research proposal overcome non-research experience? And again, I think that's going to depend on the program, depend on the institution. I think the best thing is to focus on your interests and how you could be an asset to the research program at the institution that you're interested in applying to. And we had a question, which colleges are the community colleges? So within Study New Jersey, Brookdale is a community college, and Mercer County College is a community college. Okay, and someone wanted to know which is the best university you can recommend for a master's degree in economics or finance. Again, we as a consortium, we probably can't play favorites, but we can invite you to look at our Study New Jersey website and to see, you can identify schools that are offering master's programs in your area, and determine which program is going to be good for you in terms of your budget, in terms of the type of courses that that are offered, and on our websites, the universities tend to indicate areas in which they excel. So if they've received a certain ranking in a program, the universities are going to show that.
James, there is one last question in the questions tab on the top.
Yes. So for studying medicine, again, what features are you looking for? I think for, I can't speak for medical school admissions, but we're going to be looking for, you know, high academic preparation. And I would encourage you to email Study New Jersey so that we can forward you to the specific institutions within our consortium that that offer medical studies. And for medicine, I think there are very few scholarships to study law or medicine in the U.S. But I could be, you know, I could be incorrect on that. It's better to perhaps ask that program. Okay, Burka, are you able to play that video for us?
Sure, just a second.
Boardwalks built for fun. Legendary rock and roll clubs. That's how we do it. Casinos by the ocean. Now that's New Jersey. 130 miles of beautiful beaches, solid rock, and everything in between. Now that's New Jersey. Plan your New Jersey trip at visitnj.org. Waves of fun. Nights of excitement. And a trail of memories. Now that's New Jersey.
Thanks, Berka. So someone had asked, you know, what are 3 interesting facts about New Jersey? And in Jarubi's, the start of Jarubi's presentation, you know, she talked about how diverse we are, not just in terms of our ethnic and racial makeup in New Jersey, but in terms of the variety of areas. We have urban areas, we have very rural areas. So when you are not studying, there is so much to take advantage of, to explore. If you like to go hiking, if you like to go swimming, if you like to go, we even have some mountains where you can go skiing. If you like arts and entertainment, there's a lot that's offered on our individual campuses. But when you get outside of our campuses, there's so much to take advantage of in our state. So I think we've answered all of the questions that came in through the questions, going from the top to the bottom. The last one is what are the most ranking universities in New Jersey? And again, New Jersey has top ranked elite institutions from Ivy Leagues to institutions that are ranked in other ways. So, for example, there may be rankings related to graduates placed in employment. There may be rankings related to the number of successful graduations. So rather than, say which is this particular ranking, I think it's better to explore, and a great place to start by exploring is www.studynewjersey.us, and there you will be able to visit a landing page with all of our institutions that are a member of Study New Jersey. And so we hope that this information has been helpful to you. We certainly look forward to welcoming students from Turkey to New Jersey, to all of our institutions. And if we can help you in any way, we certainly encourage you to do that. I'm going to, as I close, I'm going to share our presentation again to put up the slide, inviting you to our Study New Jersey College Fair next week. Again, you will have an opportunity to learn about the different institutions, meet with advisors. Some of you who had questions that were very specific related to, let's say, master's programs in business or medical programs or getting into a PhD program in the biomedical field, this is a great opportunity to come and meet with some representatives who can answer those very, very specific questions. So you can meet with those representatives next Wednesday around this time between 8:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, email us with specific questions at studynewjerseyus@gmail.com and visit our website. So thank you so much to IEFT for inviting Study New Jersey to participate in this webinar, and we look forward to hearing from students and to working with you guys in the future.
Thank you, Janice. Thank you very much for this presentation. Also, we would like to thank to Yorbi again. And so it was very good and informative. Thank you very much for attending. And it was very nice to welcome you to IEFT Talks webinars. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.